Hi my dear students, hope the contents discussed so far is clear to you. So just remind the things we have discussed last day. We have discussed regarding two important terms, that is order and molecularity of a chemical reaction. That's two important terms as far as chemical kinetics is considered. So what is meant by order and molecularity? Order is the sum of, what is rate law. Then what order is defined as the sum of the powers to which the concentration terms are raised in a rate equation is known as order of a reaction. And also we have discussed that order is not an experimental quantity. It's an experimental quantity. It's not a theoretical concept. That is, when seeing a balanced chemical equation, we cannot predict its order. It can be determined only through experimentally, or experimentally can be found out. Then molecularity, as far as molecularity is considered, molecularity is the number of particles or species, that may be atoms, ions or molecules, which should collide simultaneously to bring about a chemical reaction is known as molecularity. Molecularity is an theoretical concept. By seeing the balanced chemical equation, we can see or predict its molecularity. There are unimolecular reactions, bimolecular, termolecular reactions. Unimolecular means it involves collision of single molecule gets decomposed into products. So that's a reaction involving the decomposition of a single molecule into products. That's a unimolecular. If the collision involves, the reaction involves the collision of two molecules simultaneously to bring about the reaction, it is known as bimolecular reaction. If three molecules are involved in the simultaneous collision to bring about a reaction, then that is known as termolecular, and molecularity more than 3 is not possible. And we also discussed that if in a complex reaction, the slowest step is the rate determining step, or we can determine the order from the slowest step of a complex reaction. Complex reaction is a reaction which involves several steps to complete the reaction, or in order to get the final product, it involves so many steps, more than one step. It involves more than one step. Each step we can call as elementary steps. So many elementary steps are involved in a complex reaction. So that among this, the slowest step is the rate determining step. So to illustrate this, we shall see an example. For example, consider the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide in presence of iodide as catalyst. Here iodide acts as a catalyst. You know what is a catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which is added to alter the rate of a reaction, but it will not undergo any chemical change. It will be retained as such as it is added. So that's a catalyst. Here iodide ion acts as a catalyst, forming the products H2O plus O2. This is a complex reaction. This is a complex reaction. That means it involves, for the final, to achieve this final product, it involves more than one step. So I'll write the steps involved. The first step is H2O2 plus I minus gives H2O plus IO minus. Second step, H2O2 plus IO minus gives H2O plus O2. If we add these two reactions, definitely we will get the ultimate, that is the final total reaction. That is 2H2O2, IO minus will cancel out. In the final step, 2H2O plus O2 plus I minus. So that is the reaction plus I minus. You cancel out, so we will get the final reaction. So this here, this first step is the slowest step, and this is fast step. So which is the rate determining step? Here the rate determining step is the first step, which is the slowest step, determines the overall speed of the reaction. The overall speed of a complex reaction is determined by the slowest step. Since this is the slowest step, this is the rate determining step. So the rate of this reaction is proportional to, rate is equal to K into molar concentration of H2O2 raised to 1 as well as I minus raised to 1. Here IO minus is called, here one species is there which is not present in the total reaction. That is in the individual steps involved in the complex reaction. If we write the individual steps, we can see a species present, that is IO minus, which is not present in the total balanced equation. So this IO minus is known as intermediate, that is the species which is formed at the middle of the reaction and it is getting consumed in the reaction, not present in the total equation, that total balanced equation, that is known as an intermediate. That's an intermediate which is formed in the middle of the reaction. So the rate is equal to K into, that is, it depends on the slowest step, which these are the reactants involved in the slowest step. So rate is equal to K into H2O2 raised to 1 into I minus raised to 1. So the order of the reaction is 1 with respect to H2O2 as well as 1 with respect to I minus, or the overall order is equal to 1 plus 1, 2. This is the order of this reaction. For this reaction, so the overall order of this total reaction, is 2. Whereas molecularity for the entire reaction has no meaning, because molecularity means it is the number of reacting species which should collide simultaneously to bring about the product, formation of product. Bring about the formation of product. Here, if we take the individual steps or each elementary step, it involves 2 elementary steps. If we take each elementary steps, we can predict its molecularity from the coefficients. Here the molecularity is 1, here the coefficient is 1, here the coefficient is 1. So 2 molecules should collide simultaneously. 1 molecule of H2O2 and 1 molecule of I minus, they should collide simultaneously to yield this product. So here for this step the molecularity is 2, and for this step also the molecularity is here 1 H2O2 plus 1 IO minus, they should collide simultaneously to proceed the reaction and give this product. So individual steps we can predict. For elementary steps only we can predict the molecularity of a reaction. It has no meaning while we consider the overall reaction. So that's the peculiarity of molecularity, and that's the difference between order and molecularity. So from these discussions we can conclude these things regarding the order of a reaction. First feature is order of a reaction is an experimental quantity. Very important, order is an experimentally determined quantity. It can be 0 and even a fraction, but molecularity cannot be 0 or non-integer or even a fraction, because half a molecule collision is not possible. It's meaningless. We know theoretically it is meaningless. And 0 molecules means no molecule is there, so no reaction is there. So number of particles which collide simultaneously to bring about, to yield a product is known as molecularity. So order of a reaction is an experimental quantity, can be 0 or even a fraction, but molecularity cannot be 0 or a non-integer. Order is applicable to elementary steps as well as complex reaction. For an elementary reaction or a complex reaction, order is applicable, where molecularity is meaningless or not applicable, or it is applicable only for elementary reactions. For complex reaction, molecularity, for the complex reaction, the total reaction, the molecularity has no meaning. Then for complex reaction, order is given by the slowest step. For a complex reaction, order is given by the slowest step determines the rate, as well as we can find the order from this slowest step. So in complex reaction, order is given by the slowest step, and also the molecularity of the slowest step. In a complex reaction, the molecularity of the slowest step is same as the order of the reaction. We just check this equation, just check this reaction. Here this is the slowest step. What is the order of the slowest step? That is H2O2 into I minus, that's 1 plus 1, 2. And here the molecularity of the slowest step is also 2. So for a complex reaction, molecularity of the slowest step is same as the order of the overall reaction. For this reaction, the overall order is equal to 1 plus 1, 2, and the molecularity of this step is equal to 1 plus 1, 2. So for a complex reaction, the overall order of the reaction is same as the molecularity of the slowest step. So these are the features of order and molecularity. Normally it is used to ask for the exam, board exam, so study this.
Here we shall do one numerical based on the rate law. The conversion of molecule X to Y follows a second order kinetic. If the concentration of X is increased, so in this case, that is, we can define rate law, rate 1, that is the initial rate. Rate 1 is equal to K into molar concentration of X raised to power, that is the power will be the order of the reaction. Then in the second situation, the rate, if the concentration of X is increased to 3 times, that is X becomes, initially X to the molar concentration of the reactant becomes 3X. So substituting the value of molar concentration of the reactant, that is X, turn to 3X the whole square, that is equal to 9Kx square Kx square is the rate 1. It is 9 times. That is the rate 2 becomes 9 times as that of rate 1. Very important question as far as the board exam is concerned. It's very easy also to study this thoroughly. The next is integrated rate equation. Next is the equation, deriving an equation that is known as integrated rate equation. We have noted already integrated rate equation. We already noted the dependence of concentration of the reactants on the rate of a reaction, and the equation so derived is called the differential rate equation. And we also know that in order to find the instantaneous rate of a reaction, we have to draw a graph between concentration of either the reactants or products, and we get a curve accordingly, and from that curve, by drawing the tangent to the point corresponding to that particular instant of time in the curve, the slope of the tangent gives the instantaneous rate. So we are finding out the instantaneous rate so far by means of graphical representation. From this graph we are finding out the instantaneous rate. But it is not always convenient to find the instantaneous rate at any moment from graphically. So in order to overcome this difficulty, we can integrate the differential rate equation to give a relation between directly measured experimental data. The experimental data we are getting, we can apply directly in an equation. If we integrate the differential rate equation, we will get an equation where we can directly apply the experimental data, that is the concentration at different times and a rate constant. We can apply directly and find the rate law or rate constant. So that rate equation is known as integrated rate equation. And the integrated rate equations are different for the reactions of different order. For example, zero order having a particular integrated rate equation, the integrated rate equation for the first order is different from that of integrated rate equation of zero order. So we have to find the integrated rate equation individually for all the orders, and this year we will be deriving the integrated rate equation for zero order and first order reaction, and it's very useful for as far as numericals are considered. So first of all, we can derive the integrated rate equation for a zero order reaction, and after that we can derive the integrated rate equation for a first order reaction. We know that consider a reaction R giving C. Here the differential equation is minus dR by dt minus dR by dt is equal to K into molar concentration of R raised to, since its order is 0, it is R raised to 0. By rearranging this equation, we will get dr minus dr, or dr is equal to minus k into dt, minus k into dt. Since r raised to 0, anything raised to 0 is 1, so this term becomes equal to 1. Therefore, rearranging the equation, dr is equal to minus k into dt. Integrating this equation, that is integrating this equation, we get integral dr is equal to minus k into integral dt, or integral dx is equal to x. Integrating dx, we will get x. Similarly, integrating dr, we will get r. R is equal to minus k into integral dt is equal to t. And whenever we are integrating a differential equation, we will get a constant of integration, that is I, which is known as constant of integration. In order to find the value of I, we are assuming a situation where t is equal to 0, that is at the initial point, that is at the start of the reaction, the time is equal to 0. The initial concentration, let it be R0. R0 be the initial concentration at the start of the reaction. The concentration of reactant be R0. Then applying this in this equation, that is R0, that is the concentration at 0 time, is equal to minus k into that time at which this concentration existed. That is, this is 0th time. That is the initial concentration. R0 is the time t is equal to 0. So this term becomes 0. 0 time is equal to 0. Concentration is R0. So I am substituting in this equation. That is, R becomes R0. Then t is equal to 0 means this term is 0. Then only term existing is I. So substituting this value of I in equation 1, we get R is equal to minus kt plus I is equal to R0. For rearranging this equation, we will get R0 minus, taking this to the right side and this term to the left side, we will get R0 rearranging this equation, we get R0 minus R is equal to Kc, or K is equal to rate constant, K is equal to R0 minus R divided by T, where R0 is the concentration at time, T is equal to 0, R is the concentration at time, T. So the rate constant for a zero order reaction can be derived from this equation if we know the initial concentration and the concentration at the time T, and the time T, if we know, substituting this in the equation, we can find the rate constant for a zero order reaction. And one more thing, that is, consider this equation, R is equal to minus Kt plus R0. In this equation, if you are plotting a graph, this equation is of the form y is equal to mx plus c. This is of the form y is equal to mx plus c, where y, instead of y, we are plotting on the y-axis, we should plot the concentration of the reactant R and C on the x-axis. We will get a straight line because y is equal to mx plus c is the equation for a straight line. So if you are plotting concentration of the reactant R, concentration of a reactant against time, we will get a graph having negative slope. That is a straight line graph having negative slope, and this point corresponds to time t is equal to 0. That is, time t is equal to 0, the concentration is known as R0. That is the initial concentration. So this is the point, and this will get a straight line graph. It is pointing downwards, and slope of this line is equal to, what is slope? Slope is equal to m. So instead of m, here it is minus k. Slope is equal to minus k, or k is equal to negative slope. So graphically also we can find out the rate constant k if we plot concentration versus time graph. The slope of this or minus of the slope of this straight line gives the rate constant k. So it's very important. Sometimes this graph will be given and you are asked to write this graph. This is the graph of which order reaction and what is its rate constant, etc. It will be asked. So study this integration as well as this graph. Then next is some examples of zero order reaction. Normally the zero order reactions are not common, but under special conditions reactions with zero order occurs. For example, some enzyme catalyzed reactions. We know that in our body, inside our body, the reactions are catalyzed by enzymes. The chemical reactions are being catalyzed by enzymes. Here, the rate of the reaction or the speed of the reaction depends on the amount of enzymes present and not on the amount of reactants or the concentration of the reactants. It doesn't depend, depends only on the amount of catalyst present. So it is not depending on the molar concentration of the reactant. That means it's a zero order reaction. Then reactions which occurs at the metal surface is another example of zero order reaction. For example, decomposition of ammonia gases, 2NH3 giving N2 plus 3H2 gas. This is an enzyme. This takes place at platinum surface. Platinum as the catalyst, metal surface. Decomposition takes place at high pressure as well as temperature, and this reaction here it takes place at a metal surface, and the molecules of ammonia which is getting absorbed on the metal surface only will get decomposed into nitrogen and hydrogen. So the rate of the reaction depends on the number of molecules which is getting absorbed on this metal surface. Since it's carried out at a high pressure, normally the most of the molecule, that is it is absorbed at the surface at a saturated level, or the absorption is the metal surface is saturated, or the metal surface gets saturated with the gas molecules. There is no space in between the gas molecules for further absorption. So the rate of the reaction depends only on the surface area of the metal, not on the ammonia on the surrounding surface. Even if we increase the concentration of ammonia on the surrounding surface, it will not affect the rate of the reaction because already the molecules are completely absorbed on the surface, that is they are at the saturated level. No more molecules can be absorbed. There is no space to absorb further molecules. So it depends only on the surface area of the metal. That's it. Does not depend on the concentration of the reactant. Such sort of reactions which occur at the metal surface is also a zero order reaction. Then another one is thermal decomposition of hydrogen iodide on gold surface. So study this example. Sometimes through examples they will ask this reaction occurs, what is the order of this particular reaction. So before winding up, we shall just rewind those things we have studied today. First of all, we see that for a complex reaction, the slowest step is the rate determining step, and we have seen certain points, that is distinguishing order and molecularity. Order is an experimental concept, whereas molecularity is a theoretical concept, and order can be zero or even fractions, whereas molecularity cannot be zero, it's meaningless, or it cannot be a fraction or a non-integer. Then order is applicable for complex as well as elementary reaction, whereas molecularity is applicable only for elementary reactions. Molecularity for a complex reaction is meaningless. Then for a complex reaction, is order is given by the overall order of the reaction is defined by the slowest step, and the order of the slowest step for a complex reaction is same as that of the molecularity of that particular step in a complex reaction. So go through the video, watch it carefully, study the textbook, read the textbook, study it well, answer the homework, go on systematically. Thank you. Have a nice day.